Hi, this is Raj from MR Sportscars. In this video, I've been thinking about doing this for a while, which is basically a gift guide for Porsche owners. I've just been sent some stuff from YouTube as a thank you for putting great content out there, and I just thought I should return, well, first of all, say thank you to YouTube for allowing me to tell people so many things about how great these Porsche models are that I spend every day with. I literally dream and breathe Porsche, so I've scoured the market over the years of the best things to get, not only to sort of enjoy Porsche, but also look after them. So I've put together a whole bunch of stuff which I'm going to run through in this video. That might be good gift ideas for you or someone else who's into Porsche or other sports cars, but particularly Porsche in this case, because that is exactly what I focus on here, is these Porsche models. So I'm going to cover everything from the practical stuff. Got some car covers there. I've got Trickle chargers here, which I use a lot. Some get out of jail rescue type products. Then some fun stuff and some very budget stuff. So the first thing I'll go through actually is, even with a small budget, you can get some Porsche stuff. So obviously Hot Wheels, Matchbox, they produce quite a few models, including even these very cool key rings, which you can use on your Porsche keys as an alternative to the standard Porsche crests. So these, I mean, you can go searching for these, but the best thing to do is probably actually just look on places like eBay, search for Porsche keyring, Hot Wheels or something, and then you get all of these 911 silhouette key rings for under £10. I've also fallen for all of the different gimmicks. So Lego also produced Porsche models, and this one was from a few years ago. And then there's Porsche themselves also release advent calendars, and this one you actually get to build, and it's got the sounds of that car, the 911 Turbo 3 litre 930 series. And then you've also got these sort of large scale engines, and I actually made this, put it together and put it on my desk to show people the basic architecture of a flat six engine, because a lot of people don't know what they look like, and it's quite nice to be able to show them visually how it fires up and everything else. Ironically, this one has got rubber belts, and they have snapped over the years, so I do think you can get a new set of rubber belts, but they dry up and snap all the belts in there. So that's a good model. And they also do the flat 4 as well, I think, from the 912. And then I've got some more interesting models. So there's been a lot of sort of unlicensed radio control cars that have come out. So this is one of them, which I've had a few years, which is a sort of drift car. It's 4-wheel drive, so it's quite a lot of fun. I've just got this one here, which is much smaller, which I'll just show you quickly. This one also is a very good 4-wheel drive drift model. These were around, I think I paid about £25 for that. Comes with its remote and everything. Charges a battery in the car, and it's got lights and everything. Actually, let me just show you it. Because it is quite a cool, and it has a gyro, so it's always trying to, you can obviously turn up the sensitivity of it. But you've got the ability to, so when it's driving, it will deliberately try and straighten up, and you can turn up that sensitivity. So you can have a lot of fun with this model, and it's got lights underneath it as well. So that's quite a cool sort of thing if you do want something a bit different. It's quite sturdy as well. It's made out of metal. So that's quite a nice little gift. I just want to add, I haven't been paid by any of these manufacturers to promote these products. I just thought it was interesting to show you some interesting stuff. So that one you can actually get not only as a 911 in all these different colours. So you've got everything from speed yellow, ruby red, guards red, white, Carrara white, sort of like Viper green, Python green, I guess, and then some of the more sort of like amethyst, sapphire blue. There's some really cool colours, silver and obviously agate grey as well. You can also get it as a GTR as well. That's available in a number of different places, I guess. And then I've got the sort of more practical stuff here. So I've got, this is really useful actually. This is a battery tester, which I do use all the time. As soon as we get the cars in, I test the health of the battery, not just how much charge, how much voltage it's got after it's been charged. I also test the sort of health of it. And I'll show you on this lovely, very Christmas themed Targa we've got. So it will show me the health of the battery when I plug it into it. Just so you know that in winter, batteries do take a kicking, so you just plug it in. This was around 25 quid. Battery test, 12 volt. This is 80 amp hour. You can either match the amps or the current, so I'm going to do the amps. So that says state of health 99%. So I immediately know that's a very good condition battery. It actually tells me the CCA. This one should be 800 amps. It's actually 826. So yeah, but look how low it is. So it's state of charge 13%. So that shows you it's a very good battery, but it just needs a good charge. So then with that information, I will then plug it into one of these. So these are my preferred brand of trickle chargers, NOCO. These are available online as well as places like Halfords. They've got the 5 amp, which is very, very good. I've got lots of these, and I've just started recently stocking the 10 amps to use, not stock to sell, but stock to use. So this will charge every hour, it will add 10 amps. So that's an 800 amp battery. So that will take 80 hours to fully charge from flat. But if you leave it for a couple of days, that will be more than adequate. And that will charge obviously double that. That's 5 amps, that's 5 amps. It will add 5 amps per hour. These also work with standard battery, AGM, lithium. They will also repair batteries as well. And they'll also work on motorbike batteries as well, AGM ones as well as the regular lead acid. But they will also repair. Same with this one as well. This one has a repair mode and it will work with AGM and lithium. So they're a good thing to have in your garage as well, because every once in a while, even like one weekend out of every 4 over winter, I'd recommend getting your batteries charged up in good condition. As you can see, that one might have issues. Even though it's a very good battery, it might have issues if it doesn't charge with cranking up the car, because it will take a lot of amps to start a car like this. And so a car like that will need topping up. Even though the battery's very good, it still needs charging. So over winter, cars that have issues with having a weak battery, if you've got the heated seats running, you've got air conditioning running, you've got the lights on, you've got the stereo on, everything running, wipers, everything, that takes a lot of strain. That puts a lot of strain on the batteries. So it's always crucial to keep an eye on your battery health. And I'd recommend getting something like this, so at least you have an idea. And then obviously having these items here to keep them charged and maintained. Then if you do get really stuck, I've started taking these out with me on the road, particularly when I'm picking up cars, because obviously at that point I can test the batteries, but if I do get stuck, I want to be able to get somewhere. So I've got these sort of lithium battery jump starters. So rather than having to jump start off of another car with cables and things, you can now get these lithium battery based jump starters. And NOCO do one as well. I do have one of those, just not here. I leave it in one of my vehicles. It's always good to have something like these. So these are two. I mean, I'm not endorsing a particular brand. There's lots of different brands that produce these. I've happened to have chosen, based on other people's reviews, a company called Trekure. I think that's how you say it, or Trekker. These are quite nifty. This one's really useful for having in the workshop, because not only is it a jump starter, it's also a tyre compressor. So rather than using the inbuilt tyre compressor on these cars and straining the batteries further, you can use one of these. I mean, it is quite big, so this is the one I don't carry on me, because I've actually topped up 2 cars sets of tyres with this. So you have tyres, you can even do, let's see, motorbike tyres, bike tyres, not sure what that is. So that's really good. And what's good is you can just set a pressure, so you can get the pressures off of the door card. In a lot of cases, they'll have it on the door or in the manual what temperatures, what pressures it should be, based on it being 20 degrees on the car. So this is fronts. I would say if it's not fully loaded, up to 160 miles an hour, you're not going to be going any faster than that. I would set it to these ones, so 29 and 33. So it means that it's very accurate because you can basically set it to 33. Then you plug it in with the cable you've got here and set it to its work, and it will stop pumping it up at that pressure. So particularly in winter where tyres get cold, you've got the issue where the pressures drop, and actually you can quite easily damage the tyre sidewalls if they're underinflated. So that's why you tend to get cracking on the edges of Porsche tyres, particularly on the front tyres, because the pressures drop to a certain amount and it's actually putting extra strain on the sidewalls. So I would recommend always regularly checking, particularly if there's a temperature drop. So say if it's 1 minute 15 degrees, the next day you get in and it's sort of like just above freezing, the temperature, the pressures will have dropped to a point where you will need to top them up. And if you drive with them very low, then it will prematurely wear the edges of your tyres. And also it will wreck the ride, so you'll crash over bumps a lot more, that kind of thing. So this is a great tool, and it charges off of any USB charger, so you can plug it into an iPhone charger, an iPad charger. Comes with isolating gloves and obviously the jump start leads as well, so you can plug that in and then you can get yourself out of problems. Obviously, ideally keep it more fully charged, so around 100%. And they tend to have things like torches on them as well, so if you're at the side of the road in the dark, and it will also charge your phone as well. I found that very useful with these charge packs. Charging my phone, say if I'm on public transport going cross country to pick up a car, there's no charge points on the trains or whatever I'm on, and I've used one of these to keep my phone in good health so that I can stay in touch. Very useful thing. So that's the first one. So that one is this guy here. But if you just search jump starter with air compressor, you'll find a few different ones. This is just the one I've got, and it's very, very good. Had no issues with it, charged it a few times, used it on the cars, it hasn't failed. Then the other one, which is the one I take on the road now, which is also by the same brand, Trekure, because this one's got, I don't necessarily need a tyre compressor on the road because, as I said, the cars have a tyre compressor. So if I show you here on this 991, you've got a tyre compressor in the car, which you can hook up to the 12 volts. So you can, as long as you leave the car running, that's perfectly fine for topping up the tyres in an emergency. This is just easier because you don't have to lift all of that stuff up. You just literally hook it up to the tyre and you're away. This one has got some benefits which are great for me while I'm on the road. I obviously carry Porsche Diagnostics on me, but say if I wasn't, this one is a lot smaller than this one. As you can see, quite a bit smaller, so much smaller, easy to fit in a backpack. This one has a handy handle here actually, which is quite cool. This one is not only a jump starter, so it will start a car up just like this one will. It obviously won't have the same amount of capacity, but it will have. It's supposed to have a very good amount. So okay, so this is 16800 milliamps capacity, but obviously this one's got the tyre compressor pump built into it. This one, instead of the tyre compressor, this has got battery testing and also OBD diagnostics. So you've actually got the ability to read fault codes. So say if a fault code flashed up on this. I've got Porsche Diagnostics, but a lot of people don't have Porsche Diagnostics. But on the road, you just want to see what is the error on the dash. So this has not only the ability to look up what the errors are by plugging this into the OBD, so the port that you've got. Let me grab the cables. So this has got an OBD port. So, on this car here, let me just get this ready. So on this car here, on this 901, you pull that fuse board cover, there's the OBD port, and if you plug this in to the top here, so let me just power up the car. This car's staggering. 2014 with just 7,000 miles on the clock. Right, so let's power that up. So you've got here OBD. So it's picked up what language is in. There's lots of different languages that cars talk out. It says that the warning light on the dash is not active. It's not finding any codes to clear or erase or look at, but even things like, so you can look up the VIN of the car. You can also look up real data on the car. So if you came up with an error on the fuel system, O2 sensors, that kind of thing, you can actually see what's going on with the O2 sensors, what they're picking up. So you can actually pretty much diagnose some simple things. It's not obviously not as in depth as the main Porsche Diagnostics, but the other cool thing is you can actually do battery measurements. So you can see the voltage, which on these cars isn't that useful because it tells you the voltage on the dash if you put that in. But the other thing it can do is actually plot a chart. So when you start the car, you can see how much the voltage drops as you start it. So you can diagnose if the car has got an issue, and actually it will do an actual test. It will actually monitor it while you're starting the car, then show you the chart and actually plot whether it's in poor health or not. So that's a really good feature of this particular tool here, is that you can test your battery, you can read the diagnostics, and also jumpstart a car. And I've actually had a really nice experience with using one of these, where there was a lady with a young family in a supermarket. She couldn't get her car started. She was obviously very distraught because she couldn't get home. She had all the shopping in the car, and I actually used this to basically get her going. Jump started her car very quickly. I said to her, you now need to go and charge your battery when you get home, or replace your battery, go and get a new one fitted. But basically got her back on the road without having to sort of line up another car, get the cables between the two cars, which how many people carry them these days? So that was a really good situation where something very small can basically save someone's day and save them hours of issues. So yeah, they're great sort of Christmas ideas for a Porsche owner or any car owner. Actually, I've got a version of these in every single car I've got, so that I've got the ability to not only start my car, but start a friend's car, start a stranger's car if they're having issues with their battery. The other thing I was going to mention was car covers. So obviously, as you can see, all these cars get covered up when no one's here, just to stop the dust in my case. But there are outdoor covers. So this is the outdoor cover that Porsche produce, and you can basically tell Porsche whatever the VIN of your car, registration, they will find this particular version, a unique version that fits your car, which is in this format. So basically this gets stuck. You basically suction that to the top of the window, you unzip it, and then you unfurl it. And this is exactly the same one, older as you can see because it's slightly faded because this one has been used outdoors, but that's essentially what it looks like, and it will have the wing mirror outlets there, so it will be fitted to the car. It will have a drawstring at the bottom here that you can pull tight to make it wrap around the car very snugly. It's also got a number plate display. I don't know if you've got dozens of cars, then you can look without lifting the covers what car's under what. And they've also got, I guess these are little vent holes here, just in here, just to keep it ventilated. And then at the front, they come with straps, which you can actually put into the front boot to stop if it was a very windy day, these would basically anchor it to the car because they'd be shut into the car itself. So that's the outdoor version. The indoor version is the ones that you see here. So again, these are specific to each model, just like the outdoor one, and they come in this duffel bag. Just unroll it, cover it, and again, these have wing mirror covers. So they have obviously the Porsche crest on the front. They don't have drawstrings and they don't have straps to hold them in place. So they're really only designed for indoors, and they're a lovely, like, soft. And then you can also get sort of third-party covers. This one I think was only around 30 quid, and this is fantastic because this is a lovely soft material. I've actually got a similar one over here on this lovely KN, which is in Moonlight Blue. It's a lovely, really soft, lightweight cover. Very tricky. If the car's super shiny like we get them, then it is very slippery on the surface. Again, this is absolutely indoor only because any slight gust of wind and it will blow off the car. There's slight elastic at the front and the back, but other than that, it's just designed to sort of keep the dust off. So it's really a dust cover. But that's so useful on a car like this that you're not constantly wiping the dust off of that. Because yeah, the dust does settle on everything. The other thing you could consider doing if you wanted to have something nice or gift someone is join the Porsche Club or one of the other clubs. So there's Nineworks as well. Nineworks is fantastic because they do the podcast, they have the YouTube channel, and they also have really active and engaged podcast, active and engaged WhatsApp groups, chat groups, which are specific to particular things. So people share information about events they're going to, Porsche related. There's a marketplace, so there's dealers on there where they showcase their cars, and then there's a discussion group that talks about which cars to buy, and they have this lovely thing where if you buy a car off of the marketplace that's endorsed by them, then they'll send you a nice, I think it's a t-shirt, a buying boots t-shirt, because you strapped on your buying boots. There is also Porsche Club Great Britain. Just like Nineworks, you get discounts at dealers. With the Porsche Club, you also get Porsche Club events that are organised. Nineworks have events as well. You also get a monthly magazine, which is great, has traders in there. It also has lovely stories about old Porsche and the latest and greatest as well. So if you want to stay in touch with exactly what Porsche is doing, it even analyses the financial reports that Porsche produce. They do stories on that and how Porsche is doing in terms of the electrification saga that's still going on and on and on. It's a good way to stay in touch in Porsche specific news, as well as have all the events. They have forums and they have WhatsApp groups for specific cars as well. So that's a great thing. And there is also Tipec, the Independent Porsche Experience Club, I think it stands for. They're also a very good outfit as well, organise regular events. I'm not trying to endorse anyone in particular. I'm just trying to explain to you that because I literally breathe Porsche, I look at a lot of this stuff as well as obviously these beautiful cars, and so can at least try and give you some advice on things that you might not have known about, particularly with maintenance of the cars. You don't have to get your hands dirty to keep your battery in good condition. You don't have to get your hands dirty to keep your tyres in good condition. It's just literally having the right equipment and the right tools to hand just makes it so much easier than say getting out a foot pump, or yeah, getting what I used to do was I had a car battery I used to drag around the unit with one of those tyre compressors that's in the front boot, and literally drag it around the unit around a car. Now it's so much easier with something like this where I can just set it and leave it. So if a tyre's particularly flat, say like half empty, then I can just leave it. It will take a couple of minutes and then it will switch off. So I don't ever overinflate the tyres anymore either. So there is stuff like that. Obviously the Trickle chargers, covers, and then some of the fun stuff as well, which I'm always having a play with, looking at what's out there. This is fantastic. I would do a driving demo of it, but I think I'm kind of running out of time of what I want to show on this video. So maybe I'll do a separate review of something like this if people want to see it, but there are reviews out there of stuff like this. Obviously it's unlicensed, so it's not 100% great buying something like that, but it's just for a bit of fun, so that's why I have it. And yeah, I hope you found this sort of gift idea video useful for Porsche owners, maybe some inspiration if you've got someone in your family who is into Porsches and you want to get them something that they'll really appreciate, that will enhance their experience and ownership of their Porsche. If you have any comments or suggestions of other things to buy, then please don't hesitate to comment below. Thanks for watching.